guys, we're back again with another video. I do want to say I have got an exciting interview with Shakur Stevenson coming out the next couple of days, so make sure that you keep your eyes peeled. I don't want you guys to miss it. I was so glad I was able to get some time with Shakur Stevenson and catch up with him, so I'm excited to get that out for you guys. We've just concluded a great weekend of amazing fight nights. We had 2 fight nights take place on the same night, of course, different time zones. First, we had Dave Allen and Filip Hrgović here in the UK, and then in America we had Keyshawn David and Nahir Alrbight. Let's start off with here in the UK, Filip Hrgović versus Dave Allen. Now, personally, when I first saw this announced, I thought it was a bit of a mismatch. I was quite surprised that Dave Allen would want to take this fight after coming off his loss against Makhmudov. But when I saw in an interview that, it was a good payday, he was getting paid a nice amount of money, then I thought, okay, fair enough. And do you know what? There's no harm in daring to be great. But I did also keep an open mind, and I said, you know what? Like, I don't want to doubt Dave Allen. Like, if he's daring to be great, then he's daring to be great. But I would have thought maybe he would have maybe fought somebody else, build up some momentum again, and then maybe go in with a fight like Hrgović, somebody who is in the top 10 heavyweight. But that wasn't the case. So I was excited to see how it was going to play out come fight night. And personally, I think Dave Allen comes across as a really lovely guy. To be honest, there was just a difference and there was a clear difference, and it was only going in one direction right from round one. I mean, Filip Hrgović was landing the cleaner punches. He was landing more of the punches anyways, and he was throwing more of the punches, the accurate punches as well. So it was literally going in one direction. I think his corner stopping the fight when they did was the right call for his safety, because I just think it would have gotten more and more brutal as the rounds went on. So I think that was a really good call, to be quite frank. If you look at who they have fought, like the caliber of names of who they have fought. So Dave Allen, let's start with his loss against Fraser Clark in 2023. Then that was in round 6, and then he had 2 fights which he won against Jake Darnell and Bucheta, and then he had that controversial loss against Johnny Fisher, and then he won in the rematch, and then he had Makhmudov. Okay, so just looking at this, I would have thought, maybe could he avenge that rematch with Fraser Clark maybe for his next fight after coming off a loss with Makhmudov? I think there's so many more fights that could be made on a British level that he could go for. And one of the names that I was thinking was like a Fraser Clark. Would be like a TKV, Jamie TKV. And he also did mention post-fight interview that maybe he will go for the British heavyweight title, which is also not a bad shout, which Richard Riakporhe currently has. And if you look at Filip Hrgović, he has been in with a different caliber of names. His last fight was with David Adelaide, which he won in the 10th round. And before that, he also won. That was against Joe Joyce. And then prior to that, he had lost to Daniel Dubois. But I thought that fight was actually quite incredible, both men going at it in the ring. And then now he's securing another win. To be quite frank, I think the fight to be made, even before the interview took place, I thought Filip Hrgović and Otama would be sensational. I think Moses Utama has done so well. I've spoken about this so many times on this channel. He's done so well, and he's been able to build himself, build his career, and he gets better with each and every fight. And with each and every fight, we've been more and more impressed with Moses Utama. And I think someone like Filip Hrgović, who is in the top 10 heavyweight, yeah, this is brilliant. This is a great stepping stone for him in the direction that he's actually going in. I would love to see that fight. I think that is the fight to be made. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments, but I hope Dave Allen takes as much well-needed rest and he's able to come back and, to get back straight to it. And let's hope that that fight with Filip Hrgović and Moses Utama does actually happen. I mean, Filip Hrgović did seem quite keen. He seemed like quite happy to take that fight. But saying you're going to take it and actually signing and it actually happens are two different things. So let's see if the fight actually does go ahead. Now, on the other side of the pond, firstly, before I get into Keyshawn Davis and Albright, their rematch, unfinished business, I think that fight is definition of unfinished business. I do want to say, Brian Norman's fight, his comeback fight on that same card as co-main event against Wagner, I think he was so sharp, he was so slick, he was quick. It was really good to see him back in his element again. And to be honest, I was quite impressed. And I thought, yeah, this is brilliant. This is the version we want to see. And of course, he's also taken on this fight. This is his first fight with a new trainer as well. So this is all to say new territory. He's been in the ring before, but this is obviously his first time going into a fight with a new trainer. His first loss. Obviously, we know that sometimes with boxers, when they suffer a loss, confidence, you know, like it's having that confidence again to be able to go out there. But he seemed that he looked really good in the ring. I was really impressed by him. I was like, yeah, this is the comeback. And he also said in a post-fight interview that he wants to avenge that loss. He wants to have that rematch with Devin Haney. And to be quite frank, I don't think Devin Haney would want to have that rematch with him. I think with Devin Haney, it's like one and done, click up winner. He wants to move on and have other exciting fights. I would imagine for Brian Norman Jr., he would want to avenge that loss. Maybe that's something that could be looked at as he continues to build on this momentum, Brian Norman Jr. I don't know, but he looked phenomenal out there. And to Keyshawn David versus Alrbight 2, unfinished business. I mean, wow. They first fought in 2023. Keyshawn David won by unanimous decision, but then it turned into a no contest. And so there was a lot of like backstage tension, you know, like this fight, I think it just should have happened. And Keyshawn Davis, I think he won convincingly. Like, he dominated that fight. I love this momentum and this run that Keyshawn Davis is on. He did actually say in his post-fight interview, he was like, you know what, like, make your weight not my thing, maybe I will move up. And to be quite frank, I think that's a good shout. I mean, if he stays at 140, there is the vacant IBF title that he could go after. At 147, you've got Devin Haney, a fight that he very much wants. They both called each other out. Keyshawn Davis seems really keen on making that fight happen. And the fact that he's also a world champion makes it even more enticing. You've got Rowley, you've got Ryan Garcia, you've also got Brian Norman Jr. Not a bad shout either. Many exciting fights to be made at welterweight. So I'm excited to see what's next for him. He did say he'll be fighting again this year. Love to see it. Also been announced, Canelo Alvarez is back in the ring for the super middleweight title with Christian and Billy, and that's going to be in September in Riyadh. This is him coming back. Canelo proving and showing the world that he is still the guy at the top. Despite that loss against Terence Bud Crawford right here, he's coming back. He's going for a world title shot. Christian and Billy is one of the most aggressive pressure fighters in the division. High output, heavy punches, and relentless pace. And we all know Canelo. He's a seasoned counter puncher. He's got the elite timing, defense, and fighter IQ. This will be sensational. This will make for a great fight. I think it will be one of the fights of the year, to be quite frank. And to be honest, I love that we're seeing Canelo back in the ring again. This guy is like non-stop. I do wonder at what point, when will he ever, well, he's going to have to at some point, will he ever consider retirement? He's made so much money. He's accomplished so much. And he's still going forward. He's still at it. And I think it's actually incredible. But at some point, you are going to have to put your health first. But if he's able to go out there and do it, then I guess he's going to do it. If you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment. I want to hear from you guys. I love talking to you guys in the comments, and I'm going to speak to you guys in my next video on Friday. Bye for now.